I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube. If you've never tuned into this channel before, Renaissance Man Education was something that my students asked me to start. I am a public school teacher, among other things. I'm gonna let this window down a little bit more for just a moment. Any cigar smokers out there? I don't know if there are. This is a Perdomo Habano Maduro. I only like Maduro cigars. Oh, this thing turned on my car audio, so I gotta leave the video, the car audio off. Anyhow, Sundays, you've heard me say on this channel, if you're a person who watches or has watched this channel before, man gotta have a hobby. So one of mine, when I get time to do what I want, how I want, is I smoke cigars. This, if you ever get into cigars, this is a Zycart X2 cutter. I'm live on two different platforms for anybody who's wondering why I'm looking crazy. Buy yourself a quality cut. It'll make your life a whole lot easier if you're going to get into it. Now, believe it or not, some of my name brand lighters have been giving me issues. Today, I'm just using a gas station torch, but you always want to go with a torch for cigars. So anyway, the other day, I was doing some business outside of the classroom, and I was posed a question whether or not I'm a controlling man based on my demeanor and based on how I do certain things. And it's a fair question, I suppose. If somebody wanted to ask and they wanted to know, I could have declined, but I chose not to. So my response was, yes, I'm a controlling man. I sure do like to be in control because I'm not going to be out of control. Why would I do that? I work very hard. I make sure things are a certain way for me and my children. My father passed away, so I'm all my mother has. So absolutely, yes, I'm in control. I'm a controlling man. If a man doesn't control what's around him, think about the quarterback on the football team. It's football Sunday. If if a quarterback wins, hey, everybody gets credit, right? But if a loss is taken, everybody's looking at who? The quarterback. And guess what? As a man, that's what's going to happen to you. So it's your duty to determine the fate of your household or whatever's in your command. What if you are a supervisor at a job? You know, that amazes me how people will ask, well, I don't like a controlling person, or I don't like a controlling man. What do you think that person you work for on your job does? Somebody may say, well, actually, I do employ some people indirectly. Hold on one second. These are my favorite cigars right now. If you ever get into cigars, your flavor palette may change. Depends on who you are. It varies from person to person. Anyhow, so whatever you're responsible for, that's under your control. If it goes well, okay, cool. Everybody gets credit for it, but if it goes wrong, it's on you. As a man, that's how you're going to get treated in your household. Society's going to judge you on whether or not you perform. Doesn't matter what help you didn't get. Doesn't matter what you don't know. Doesn't matter what circumstances you grew up under. It's on you to perform. Point blank, period. Now you can get Firewire 79 says exactly. Preach, brother. So I got posed a question the other day. Am I a controlling man? Am I Answer was a resounding yes. So with that being said, I'm gonna give you some scenarios of why a man does need to be controlling, at least in his own life. Now, if we're talking about controlling a woman or something like that, here's how that's gonna go for me. What happens in my household, yeah, I'm in complete control of it. 100%. For example, if I have a child in my household who doesn't follow my instructions, who doesn't stay under my control, who's society going to blame for how that child is behaving, right? They're going to blame me. And that's on me. And there's nothing wrong with that because I'm a man. I can take care of mine. If that child gets out of line, it's on me to correct that child. If that child causes some damage, who's going to have to pay for it? If that child gets caught up in the legal system, who's got to bail them out? They're under my control then, right? So then it's going to be like, okay, well, you're a failure of a man and your children are failing, and it must be your fault because you didn't control your children, right? What if the house catches on fire? See, we got a plan for if the house catches on fire, if somebody breaks in, different scenarios. I'm the quarterback. I call the play. Hut! I need everybody to run. If you played any sports, you know doggone well the coach can't call the play, quarterback repeats the play, and then you decide you're going to do what you want to do. I don't get it. It's okay to be controlled at your job. See, this is why I advocate kids playing sports so early, because you learn this early in life. You learn, hey, there's this thing called chain of command. Somebody's in control. Somebody's in charge. If you want to be in the game, you listen. You follow instruction. If you don't, go ahead and do your whatever you want. Let the quarterback call for you to run a certain route and you go this way and he told you to go that way. You want to run a fade route and he told you run a curl. You in the end zone by yourself because he's looking for you to curl because you didn't want to be under control. Or if you're the quarterback, you're trying to blame your players and your personnel because you didn't want to be in control. So, with that being said, I look at myself as a father, as a man who's in control of what goes on in my household like this. If I tell someone in my household, hey, I need you to go with plan C, go with code red because the house is on fire. I tried to put it out. We got to get out now. Everybody who goes with me is going to live because the house is set up a certain way. There's only certain things that can generally catch on fire. It's a well thought out plan, but we have contingency plans. If somebody wants to tell me, hey, I don't want to do that, or stop and ask, why do I need to follow this plan? Well, you go ahead and get burnt up, but that's on you. If somebody breaks in the house, I don't want to talk about things that might get my channel flagged, so let me tiptoe around what I'm saying. But look, if my house gets broken into, I have some set responses, and everybody's got to follow the game plan. Somebody decides they want to do something different, I can't respond the way I need to respond. And if you're a man, let's go ahead and say it. There's a such thing as, let me say this. Let me give a precursor. Certain items need to stay locked up and secured and only come out at certain times and under supervision. But okay, different power tools. I'm talking to grown folks now. They operate in a different manner. You know what? Now, let me go ahead and just talk because I might have kids listening. You might have a father who has the same type of plan. If he's got to get a weapon out to defend you and your mama or your sister or your little brothers or whatever, he may need you to stay in one spot. He may need you to go to a safe area. Whatever the game plan is, if you decide that you're not going to be under control, then what's going to end up happening is you hinder his ability to protect you and take care of you, to do his job as a man. And then you got people out there who are going to blame a man. Because remember, if he fails, it's on him. For anybody who is interested in cigars, I'll talk about this cigar in a moment. But you can't, in a situation where there's no control, well, so I guess there's an auto timeout on my vehicle lights. My apologies. YouTube, the audio is going to be weird for a second. Sorry about that. All right, so if the man of the house is trying to protect the house, people don't want to listen, people don't want to be in control. We talked about a fire scenario. See, the other thing is you can endanger other people. If this person who's supposed to be in control of this situation got to stop and argue with somebody who's out of control, you can endanger other people in an emergency scenario, whether it be house on fire, somebody's breaking in, somebody's got to be in control. There's got to be a leader somewhere. Somebody's got to decide, I'm going to follow. Somebody's got to decide first, I'm going to lead. What about household finances? The man of the house sets boundaries. He sets a budget. Hey, we're on our way to success. Everybody needs to follow the budget. We can all have what we want. Everybody can progress where they need to go, but follow the budget. But then somebody grabs dad's credit card and decides they're going to do their own thing. Okay, well, now, depending on how much that out of control person spent, the whole household budget could be out of whack. We talked about working. What about at a business? If a man has a business, he hires the wrong people, they want to step out of line. It's a lot different with a small business than it is with a corporation. See, what people don't know when they are working for somebody, you just show up, you clock in. If y'all wonder why I'm looking from side to side, I'm live on YouTube as well. You just go to a job, you clock in, you do that set job, you go home. When you're a business owner, it's way different. Number one, you have to come up with the corporate structure, the bylaws, operating agreement if you're going to use one. Who's going to insure your company? Somebody's got to go out and procure business. It's way different than going to somebody's job, right? You doggone sure better be in control if you're any form of any type of entrepreneur. Because let me tell you, if your organization flops, ain't nobody gonna help you pick up the pieces for nothing. You doggone sure better be in control then. Because now you're dealing with your personal credit to get started, unless you're more crafty and know the different ways to. And you can start your business credit from scratch. You can do the net 30s and things of that nature. For what me and mine do, it hadn't really taken all that, so I don't dabble into it too much. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I'm the authorized representative to make sure that these things go well and go smoothly and revenue keeps coming in. I don't have leeway to say, oh, well, I don't want to control, or my employees, they want to be in control and they want some say so. They can get say so if I ask for some say so. Otherwise, I'm responsible to make sure these folks get paid. I'm responsible to make sure their insurance is right. I'm responsible for a part of these people's families. You doggone right, I got to be in control. At work, at my day job as a teacher, yeah, I got to control the classroom. So I got to, you expect me to let the kids do what they want to do? Come on now. So when a kid does something that kids do, because all kids do crazy things, not all kids, I'm sorry, but kids are prone to possibly do what kids do. Nobody wants to hear, oh well, I wanted to let the kids be free and let kids have their say so they kids. Yes, they're under my control. All right, but let's talk about what this lady really wanted to know. She was trying to figure out if I'm a controlling man or not in the aspect of relationships. You must be one of them controlling men, aren't you? My answer was yes. And I can give you all types of different scenarios, but I will say this. I'm not trying to control what a woman does. At least if we just on the boyfriend, girlfriend, platonic friend, romantic friend, whatever level. In my household, though, yes, things go a certain way based on the scenarios that I presented earlier. I'm not finna have nobody coming up in my house saying they want they say so, jack my stuff up, and then leave. And if you really want to know, I've been married before. I tried to do the whole let a few different people have let this woman have her opinion in my household. Hey, blew everything up, tore everything up, got that divorce, and left me in shambles. But that's okay. I bounced back 2 times better. It's cool. It took some time though. It took some. Hey, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. Only one man in this house. That's me. Only things are getting controlled and they going a certain way. Anybody who don't like it got to bounce. My daughter, my son, I told them, hey, I don't want y'all getting out there at 18 years old hollering about I want an apartment and I want to do this, and they go into debt immediately. They can stay. Dad's gonna get a starter home for them. They already got some business endeavors set up for them, but they're going to have to be under my control. If I'm going to pay for everything, support them, set them up for success, cool, but you're going to stay in control. Now, am I going to treat them like little kids? No, but there's going to be some parameters, there's going to be some boundaries. And if they want to go and do their own thing, that's fine. But see, I'm building them up to the point where if they do want to go and do their own thing, if they follow instructions, they'll have their scholarships, they'll have their opportunities to do what it is that they want to do. So in my household, things go a certain way. I don't have to get married, neither do you. If I'm going to get married, though, it's going to go a certain way. Because again, and I'm going to do what's called a private marriage contract. I've said that a few times on this channel. I don't apologize for it. I don't advocate men get married under the normal system where you get a state sanction. See, when you get married with that state marriage certificate, your marriage belongs to the state. That's why the judge can tell you how you're going to dissolve that marriage. If you do a private marriage contract, it's on your terms, man. For anybody just joining, this is a Perdomo Habano Maduro. These are some of my favorite cigars. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit towards the end. I don't know if anybody actually wants to hear that or not, but anyhow, I don't smoke weed. I got too much to lose for that. Um, I don't smoke the cigarettes with all the chemicals and stuff in it. I like my cigars. People say, "Oh, those are Cuban cigars." No, they're actually not from Cuba. There's an embargo on Cuban goods, so you you can get actual cigars from Cuba, but you'll go through hell and high water to get them when you could just get one that came from Nicaragua or Brazil or wherever some of these things come from. Anyhow, if I'm gonna get married again, yes, everything in my household is gonna be under my control. Now, I don't have to get married. I have a female friend. I keep it that way for a reason. If she wants to do her own thing, she's got her own house, she got her own money, all that good stuff. She does a lot of nice things for me and for my children. Um, she cooks, she comes over here and cleans. But see, I control what goes on in my house. So when I have her company over, it goes a certain way. I'm gonna give you a scenario, and you take it how you want to. But just the other day, I decided, you know what, this woman been cooking and cleaning and doing all this nice stuff. I said, hey, baby, what you want to eat? Now I'm an old head. Some of y'all maybe varying ages. But look, do I need a translation? Oh, what up? What's up, Henshaw? Henshaw, you cigar smoker or what? Anyhow, while I'm waiting on my partner to respond, um, one of my good supporters on YouTube, I asked this lady, "Hey, baby, what you want to eat?" 2 hours later, what you want to eat? I don't know. 2.5 hours later, look, sweetheart, I'm hungry. What you want to eat? You tell me. Exactly. So we ended up going to a restaurant. We had a great time, but the point I'm trying to make is this. What if that would have been a crucial scenario? The way you do. Oh, thank you, Miss Teresa Lewis. Teresa Lewis sent me a rose. Miss Teresa, don't laugh at me, don't judge me, but I don't even know what them roses mean. What is that? Oh, here we go again. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to come outside. Matter of fact, my female friend, she's in the house right now. Only when okay, my Henshaw says he only smokes cigars when somebody's born or something like that. Yeah, it'd be like that, Miss Teresa. Miss Teresa, and anybody else watching, I'll never understand this. I've dated women who are like, when they meet me, oh, you so masculine, you this, you that. I like a man that leads till we actually start leading. Why are you so controlling? Hey, one thing about me, I'm consistent. I'm who I am. I'm who I say I am from day one. I hope y'all can hear me clearly, cause I didn't want to be inside. There's too much noise going on, and I just like to be outside. I live in Louisiana. Um, I'm on the suburbs. The yards are pretty big, and you can go outside and look at your trees. Teresa says she don't know what the rose means. She just sent it. Well, thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Young men out there, whatever age man out there, divorcees, whatever you may be. You know what? I'm gonna take it there, because this lady who asked me about uh whether or not I'm a controlling man, she asked me where in the Bible, because some people, if they know you're a Bible reader, they'll start saying, well, where in the Bible does it say this and where does it say that? Okay, cool. And you can go there, but I'm a man who's read the Bible from cover to cover, and I know what's in it. God never told man to be controlling. Yes, he did. In the book of Genesis, it might be chapter 1, I think verse 28. He told the first man he created, have dominion over everything in the garden and over every living thing on this earth. Every living thing on this earth. So you mean to tell me now you want to bring God into the conversation, lady? Okay. I asked, are you? I always ask people, are you sure you want to bring God into this situation? Because you might not like what God's got to say about it. See, God is nicer than me and meaner than me at the same time. Meaning, he's way more patient, but at the same time, he ain't got no laws to keep him from destroying you. So he's more patient than me, but he's also more vicious than I am when it's time to get rid of a problem. Because by God's definition, he has to get rid of evil, right? Just in case anybody wants to cancel me out there, this is T. T goes great with cigars. Anybody who's not a cigar smoker. But anyhow, um, that's what God purposed man to do, to control, to take care of. See, is controlling really such a bad thing? I can't speak on other people, but I grew up in a married household. I had a mom and a dad who were married. It was understood. Dad was the man of the household. Mom supported dad. You're the child. You report to mom first, but the final decision rests with dad. Now, when I was young, a couple times I tried to skirt around dad and ask mom because I thought mom was going to be nicer. My mom would say, well, son, did you ask your father? Okay. See, you couldn't play mom and dad against each other, but everything ran like a smooth oiled machine. And you may say, well, I don't like that. Okay. If you join the military, somebody's going to be in control. Like I said about these jobs, somebody's going to be in control. I spoke about the sports analogy earlier when a child gets into sports, and that's where you learn those things. But not only do you learn to be in control, that's where you first learn what leadership is, because your moment's going to come. You do sports long enough, oh, the ball going to end up in your hand for that last shot. It might be the last of a quarter, it may not be the game winner. It may be a crucial scenario. It may be a team building thing where you got to motivate one of your teammates. But that time is going to come. And young men need those things to happen because you need to understand what that's like. If you're a single woman, by whatever the circumstances may be, well, if it's on you, I guess you need to be in control. So does that make you a bad person? Because you controlling that situation? I'll even go to another extreme. I don't advocate for it, but there's some irresponsible men out there. You can't blame a woman for saying, "Okay, partner, look, you gonna lead me into a brick wall if I let you lead me. So I'm gonna control this situation." And if that's the case, I guess I can't blame you. But does that make you a bad woman? So yeah, if anybody asks me, with the resounding, I'm talking about with the Superman music playing in the background. Yes, I'm a controlling man. Absolutely. Even this little torch lighter is a little cheap one. My Cohiba lighter, I gotta send it back to Cohiba. Go figure. But there's a knob on here. You can control this thing from the flame going too far. You can even lock it. See, I got the lock on right now. You can take the for so a child doesn't hurt themselves. You take the lock off. Now you got a flame. And if you don't want the flame tearing your hat up or going across your vehicle, you control it. Everything is okay to be controlled until we're talking about men controlling their households. Any woman that has ever asked me that would never see me again. Now, I'm getting to be an old head. For y'all on YouTube, my guy Henshaw, he's an older head than me, but he done had it. I watch Henshaw on Facebook. Henshaw has determined, look, the last part of my life is going to go a certain way. That brother rides his motorcycles. Why? Because the right woman will fall in line. That's true, bro. That's true. But Henshaw be on that motorcycle. Henshaw be uh uh off-road riding with four-wheel drive Jeeps and stuff. That dude knows how to fly planes. Oh, that's a serious guy. What else? I'm trying to see if I can shoot your resume out there. Don't correct me just yet, Henshaw. Let me see if I can remember. Pilot, electrician, mechanic. Hey, well, you got to have them too, man. Now, I'm a high school teacher, so I try not to do too much. They might want to cancel me and stuff. One thing about these Perdomo cigars, they burn evenly and consistently. The flavor is consistent. This Habano Maduro, when you're smoking a cigar, they have different music, robots, guns, all of that. And dude's an expert at whatever he talks about. That's one of those people where if he talks, you need to listen. Henshaw, you ex-military too, right? Anybody just joining? Somebody else got on TikTok. I should have did this at 12 p.m. Um, I hadn't done my analytics the way I should, but most people who watch this channel come on at noon, but people will see it tomorrow. And I'm gonna break it up into some shorts as well. But anyhow, he said, you're gonna make me want, man, go ahead. Why not, dude? Man, I love my cigars. Look, some people, and here's another gripe folks have about with me. I'm a homebody. But see, I like life controlled. And I got this from there's a channel called Man of Tomorrow on YouTube. Y'all should check him out. Men should check him out. Absolutely. He says, yes, I want my life boring and I want my life in control. Because I want to reasonably be able to predict what happens in my life. And I don't blame him. So me, hey, I don't need a whole lot, and I don't need to deal with a whole lot of people to be entertained. I don't even really require quote unquote entertainment. Been a while, used to smoke them a lot of years. Yeah, I don't inhale them. I just get the head rush. That's all I need. But look, I got my gym at my house. I got my cigars. I got my weights. I got my punching bag. I got plenty of work to do. Being alone is the sacrifice for peace. It sure is. And you know what? Give me my peace. I don't need what all these other folks got going. I need things to go the way I need them to go. And life is easier for me that way. That's how I like to do things. People have to do whatever they want to do. But like I said, that requires a certain level of control. I know my bills are paid and some things are taken care of. There are contingency plans in place if things go wrong. There's a contingency plan for my children. Sorry about that. I'm out here in my vehicle. The sound might get janky for a second. YouTube, my apologies, because it'll jump straight to that Bluetooth. But look, I want stuff. I want as much control over as much things or as many things in life as I can get, because at the end of the day, it's all my responsibility. If things go wrong, I get blamed. If things go right, yeah, you just a regular old dude doing what you're supposed to, and that's fine. I'm not looking for anybody's credit or anybody's bonus points, but I want a peaceful life. I want things to go a certain way, especially at this stage. Kids are almost grown. Well, my son is at least. One of my children's almost grown. We're working on the next one. I'm gonna have an empty nest in about 10 years. And I'm not working. That's another thing. I'm gonna control my retirement. 50, I'm winding down. I'll be out of the school system in about 6 more years, and I'll choose to go back in if I want to. But I'm not finna be working till I'm 65, 70, 75 years old, waiting on Social Security. I ain't got time for all that. I'm putting things in place now, and that requires control. I feel like I'm getting a little bit repetitive. Um, Whether you're watching now or watching on the replay, I appreciate it. And as always, never lose the will to win, never lose the will to survive. Subscriptions and follows are welcome. I know that some people follow and then unfollow, and some people subscribe and unsubscribe, and that's okay too. This ain't for everybody. I'm not a minstrel show. I'm not a dancing monkey. We don't do all that. This is for information for students in particular, young men in particular, because I hate to see young men who go through life saying, nobody taught me anything. Okay, well, whatever information I can give you, I'm trying to give it. So I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button, make your comments, but be respectful. And again, always never lose the will to win, never lose the will to survive. What does that mean? Life might get hard, life might go a certain way, but you still got to be a man at the end of the day. Have a good one.